All right, so we're going to review how you can use normal curves to solve some great problems. This one is about statistics exams, so you really want to figure out if you've done better or not. So we're going to look at the problem on a statistics exam. You have a score of 73. If the mean of the exam is 65, would you prefer a standard deviation of the score to be 8 or 16? So to do this, we really need to draw two curves right here. One with a standard deviation of 8, okay, and the other with a standard deviation of 16. So let's go ahead and draw those curves. So when you draw the curves, we make the mean 65, so that goes right in the middle. And this time we have a standard deviation of 8, so we're counting out by 8s. And you can see it right here. I also marked the score that I got of 73. Now I can see how I've done by looking at everything to the left. This area here, this means that all this data is less than mine. So I have done better than all these people. So I can see I've actually done better than average. Well, of course, average is here. And then I've got this other. So we'll make another curve, this time with the standard deviation being 16. So we're moving, and we started 65 still, but we're counting out by 16. We're still going to mark 73. And you can almost see by looking at these two that it looks like I actually have done better than more people on this curve than this one. But I do want to actually really try to prove it and make sure I'm right. I don't want to just use my eyes to make that decision. So I need to do a little bit of work. I need to figure out exactly what is the area of each of these curves. The area of the curve is equal to the percentile because we know the entire curve has an area of 1 or 100%. So if we can figure out right where we are, this percent will be the percent that I've done better than. So to do that, we just use our calculator. We use normal CDS. So you go to second and VARS. Once you get here, we want to do the normal CDF, so you hit number 2 for that. And now on different calculators it looks different. This one's a little harder than some of them, but I'll show you on the harder one. So what we need to show is our lower and our upper bound of this area. The lower bound, we know that normal curves go on forever. So this actually has a lower bound all the way to infinity, which would be negative infinity in this case. All right. So we will put in a negative 99999 to represent that, and then a comma, and then we have to put in our upper bound, which is our actual score, which is 73. Okay, and then we put in our mean of 65 and our standard deviation. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and hit enter, and we end up with 84.8413. If we times it by 100, we can get the exact percentile. It's kind of easier to see when we times it by 100. So we have 84.13. Now let's do the same for this normal curve with the different standard deviation. So we go second, again, VARS, 2 for normal CDF. This time, again, it goes on forever, so our lower bound is negative 9999. Comma, our upper bound is 73, comma, 65 for the mean, and then this time the standard deviation is 16, and this time we end up at a lower percentile of 69.14. So now, using the math from the normal curves, we can really answer the question, do you prefer the standard deviation of the scores to be 8 or 16? And clearly we can see that when the standard deviation is 8, we actually do better than more people. We have a higher percentile. So we prefer for the standard deviation to be 8.